Hey, I do want to go back to this bare knuckle stuff. All right. Because I've always wanted, like, as basketball players, we walk into an arena, we're not we're not worried about certain things happening, right? Win or lose, by the way, you could get injured, whatever it is. But your mentality when you walk in there, like you talked about, even difference in UFC. At least at UFC, you know who you're fighting.
Yeah.
You have time to plan for that. You actually game plan. You talk about bare knuckle fighting, you didn't even know who you're fighting. Like, where's your headspace at when you're walking in that thing?
Richard died trying. He's trying to get to his destination.
I know, but gosh, dang.
Trying to get to his destination.
And you know, it's also that young bravado, like you guys when you were coming up, and the guys above you, right, that are in the league, and you're like, yeah, they're good, they're nice, they're nasty, but I'm better than you. And I'm gonna show it. I'm actually gonna put in the work. I'm gonna get in there, and I'm gonna show you these guys got the weak sauce, and I'm the real deal. And it's like the same thing with me when I'm watching the undercards of Kimbo, right? And I'm looking at the guys that are fighting the level. I'm like, I don't give a fuck who they call. I'll whoop all these. I don't give a on my worst day. I don't give a who they. If they don't bring out Jackie Chang and shit, I got all these dead. And I've seen everybody on this thing because this is all I do. I don't watch sports. I don't like watch TV or nothing. All I do is just combat. And I'm watching Kimball's fights, or I'm watching kickboxing in Japan, or I'm watching like wrestling. So I'm watching these guys. I'm like, and I'm already competing at this time, you know, since an amateur. So as a kid in different disciplines, I'm like, bro, I got these guys. I don't care who they call. As long as it's not Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee, I got these.
Those are the only two.
Those are the only two. I'm like, all right, no deal, no. So, no, I'm lying. Also, the Daywalker. Won't with the Daywalker, bro. Wesley Snipes, bro.
Oh yeah, Wesley ain't no
And
bad.
Blade,
Wesley
you
a bad
can't.
motherfucker.
Blade,
Wesley a bad
I
motherfucker.
got
Blade, Jackie Chan, and Bruce Lee. I won't even look at them, bro.
I got to follow it up though, because then you walk in there. There's like, obviously in UFC, there's times, there's rounds. Y'all just fought until someone just gave up.
That one, yeah. And that's the rule set wasn't clear. I remember kind of first going in. I remember because it was like a rumor like it might be a 10-minute round or something.
10-minute round.
But then it was back to the regular, just go to somebody gives up, which is I kind of like that as well. You know,
like
like
that,
let's just shoot it. You know.
Yeah.
I kind of
And
like
then-
that as well.
Me
Yeah,
too.
and they told me about that, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it like that. So if I get into a groove, I could just stay on that groove, not like pause, break, you know. So I started preparing myself for the time, because they gave me a good time to prepare for that. Maybe like 2-3 months that they had told me, look, this side's gonna be just go to somebody drops. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna start working out like that. So I started first getting to like 30 minutes on the back straight with no break. Then I would like take a break, then do like another 5 minutes, then take a break, then do another 5, and then I'd be like, all right, I had enough for the day. Then I started increasing, and I started getting to like 45 minutes straight with no break, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll do like 2 more sprints, like another 5-minute break, and then another
crazy.
5-minute.
And this
And I
ain't no
was-
trainer. This you just wanting this shit and grinding this
No,
shit.
no,
out,
this
you
is me going to the gym, and my coaches are Cuban, right, at the time, and they're defected from Cuba, and they had like very strict guys, you know, like no, you know, you're gonna be here in time, you're gonna show up on time, a very strict system, and they were very against the bare knuckle, you know.
Oh, okay.
They didn't really like it, and the place I was going to and stuff, they were like, no, you're not meant for that, you're meant for like creator, you know. So it was kind of like on the hush, you know.
Oh.
And then my coaches found out, but like much later, because when that fight took place, they didn't release it till about 1.5 years, 2 years after, something like that.
Damn.
So when it came out, then my coaches were like, you didn't tell us you did. What are you doing here, you f***ing wild man? What the fuck is going on? And I was
This
like,
ain't what we're
bro.
training for.
Yeah, it's like, you know, situations arose, and you know, it wasn't like a problem or nothing, but I did that for the first one. For the second one, I kind of let them know, you know, this was gonna happen and blah blah blah.
So I ain't trying to, you know, because these was different locations, but this was happening down south. I'm from Liberty City. I don't think where
That
was
first one right there is right off I-95 and what? That go to the first one. It's this laundromat right here. This one.
What part of?
This is not far from Liberty City. If it's
Okay.
not, what is that? Exit.
Gosh, dang.
That's
dog.
crazy.
It's right
Look
behind
at
this
the construction
laundromat.
worker.
It's still there to this
Look at
day.
the construction guy. He got on his jacket. He
Yeah,
still got on his coat.
everybody
He
was
took
out
his ass
there.
home from work.
Yeah.
He didn't see that his wife waiting on him.
This was-
dinner getting cold.
Yeah.
He watching you whoop this man ass.
How old are you
No,
though?
this one was in the Northwest. Just about
So-
to turn 18, brother.
I ain't pocket watching.
Yeah.
You know, I would never pocket watch, but how much was y'all making money doing this? Y'all making a couple dollars, right?
Yeah. We were making dollars.
Okay.
We were making dollars.
All right. That's good.
It all made sense. This man gave it everything he had that day. It was a hot day. I was just on a mission, man. I wasn't gonna take no for an answer.
And what people don't understand is after this, y'all was talking, y'all shook it out. It was all love. Like, it was respect. It wasn't no crazy shit.
And he was a dog because he was tired and hurt, and he was still just keep taking sprints at me. It's just my endurance was a little better than him on that day. You know, I was able to keep stepping on that gas right here. He's already like feeling, and I'm like, all right, another body shot, chop him down.
So on the way to this, like, you know what I'm saying, after this, like, what was the steps in the process as you move into the MMA lane? Like, what goes on and what happens after this?
So by the time these videos come out, I'm pro already, right? Because like I said, they take a little bit of time to come out, and now it's kind of like a good thing because the video blew up. I remember it helps, but it also didn't. It didn't in a way. It helped with the fans and stuff. But for a long time, and I never understood it why. I just would have thought it would have helped. But and now I understood because at that time they were trying to get away from that. That MMA was like a barbaric or bare knuckle sport. Yeah. So journalists and promoters were like, oh, this is some street thug, some street fighter. And it actually, with promoters and with like media outlets, they kind of shined away from me and wouldn't give me like the spotlight or wouldn't give me the mic or wouldn't give me the amount of, you know, let's say interview time that I was supposed to get for like headlining these events or co-headlining these events, you know. So it backfired on me, but the fans, it was like a cult like following. It was the greatest thing ever. The fans were like, holy smokes. When they put it together, like, you're the guy that's in the UFC. You should do the backyard. Same guy. Yeah. And it was like, those are my fans, win or lose. Like, they just want me to go out there, get in shape, and give it my all to take somebody else out. You know, those are fans that always been rocking with me. And I just been blessed. That's why I always thank Kimball, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have that like hardcore solid base, you know. But a lot of the headlines when I would lose and stuff from big publications, it'd be like Street Fighter gets exposed, loses decision, and things like that. Oh, man, you know? Yeah. I was like, these you know? But the fans love me, so I didn't give a fuck.
Looking back at it, we always talk about it when we have people on, and even in our lives, like, welcome to the NBA moment, right? Like, you live your life to get to the NBA. Yeah. And then you get there, and you say, like, that, whether you believe it or not, a guy dunks on you or does something to you. What was your welcome to the UFC moment?
To the UFC moment.
Like, were you like, oh, okay.
The one when he whooped that man ass in 4 seconds.
5 seconds?
That was his welcome to the he had a welcome moment in reverse. He whooped some ass real quick.
5 seconds?
Yeah.
No, I had knocked out a couple, you know, high-ranking guys and some really, really good guys before that. I'm trying to think, you know. Not my first fight, because I won my first fight. Nobody cared. I won my second fight. Nobody cared. I'm not going to say maybe that more of the world started paying attention to me on a broader scale till Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
Yep.
You know, he was like
that fight.
Cowboy.
I watched that fight.
And when we fought, it was on Fox Free, Big Fox.
Remember that? They did it for a short stint where Fox was doing them.
And man, we generated tons of views in that fight. Like, I don't remember. I remember the exact numbers, but it was like 5 million views live, you know? Something crazy like that. It was bananas. And we were the co-main event, you know? And that was really nuts, you know? That one really helped me out, and I performed well on that. I think that one definitely was like I'm here, UFC, to stay for in a moment, you know? They hadn't let me really fight too many ranked guys before that fight. Then after that, I was fighting always ranked guys. But before that, they were kind of like making it like a good old boy club. They weren't letting me fight the top 5, top 10 guys, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Besides,
so it's politics even in
a little bit. Back then, there was a lot more politics. You know, it's still a lot of politics right now. But, you know, Dana says it all the time with these rankings. She's like, these rankings are completely I want AI to take over. Like, back then, man, the rankings were like weird, you know? It was like a good old boy system, like kind of who you knew and when you could finally fight one of these coveted guys in the top 15 spot. If not, they would just keep you outside and you're paying shit, and it's like a bad position to be in. Even if you were beating like world-class guys or had beaten some of these guys in the past, it was like a weird thing, you know? So it took a while for me to break through, and that was like that moment where the UFC saw the worth in me as well, and we got to not only pay this guy, but we got to take care of him, you know?
You talked about that bare knuckle fight being one of the toughest fights you ever fought.
Yeah, definitely.
but going into just the octagon and UFC, which one of those fights in the UFC was one of your toughest fights? What do you think?
I remember the Darren Till fight. That was a tough fight because he dropped me early on. He might have hit me with like a shot or two when I was on the ground, and then as I stood back up to that round, he landed some very good jabs, and he has like naturally very heavy-handed guy. I wasn't seeing his jab. He hit me with a couple more lefts and stuff, but I remember getting hit a lot. Like I haven't been hit this much ever, you know. Like what the fuck's going on? You know, there was good shots, and then slowly but surely I started just getting his time. Like right around minute number 4 of the first round is where everything just made sense. It just went like
Matrix.
Slow down.
Like, you know,
slow down.
like for you guys, I guess when a certain something happens, like, oh, I wasn't flicking my wrist enough. What? You start hitting the heaters. That's how it was. But until that moment, it was like a tough fight. Like I was thinking in the back of my mind, man, it's a tough one, you know. Then the wrestling ones, the guys that just want to wrestle, those are always tough. You know, even though you don't take no abuse, it's just like you prepare your whole camp to get this guy off you and be able to get away. So physically you get like drained, you know, keeping a guy on you, even if they might not hit you a lot. So those also suck. It's more like on a pride level, you know.
Nah, that wrestling is real.
It is.
That wrestling
It is. And
real.
if you're good at it, it's like 60% of the fight right there, you know.
So standing up and throwing hands is wrestling more fatiguing? Like when I'm as a normal spectator, I'm watching it. If it's on the ground and they're wrestling, is that more fatiguing than just standing up throwing hands?
So if one guy's on top of another guy, he's usually spending less energy than the guy on bottom. But if we're both on top and I'm going for like takedowns and you're defending takedowns, this is the most energy draining thing, you know. Because this, you know, especially the more, some guys are more tense, but the more experience you get, you know, you just kind of like relax, you snap. You kind of relax, you snap.
Right
you know?
there.
Plant just got knocked
You
out.
can already tell you ain't blocking that shit. Well, I used to go to the fights and I used to go watch Rumble when he fought Cormier. And I used to always,
Those are good fights,
I used to always go for Rumble, but Dan used to always take him to the ground.
Yeah.
Every time.
He was always take him to the ground. And once he got Rumble on that
You don't
ground,
want that, you know, you don't want to feel that
that
heat, you know.
heat, Rumble had
it's
a
what
pistol.
you want to, it's what, exactly.
But
He had
every time he
pistols
took him
on
to the
both
ground,
hands. He had anesthesia everywhere, on his feet, on his knees. Wherever Rumble hit you, you were going to go night-night. That's why I always wanted that. That's why
he said he had anesthesia everywhere. Whatever
no.
he hit you.
Elbows,
I'ma use that one.
shins, feet. That guy would put anybody to sleep. And he was going to fight John Jones. I remember in the fight, just didn't end up falling. That was the one that I really wanted to see.
That would have been a hell of a fight. Bro.
Hell of a fight.
Hell of a fight.
We've got another exciting week of hoops coming up, and I've got the perfect way to get you even closer to the action on the court. Right now, all new DraftKings customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code OGs. The crown is yours. That's right. New customers get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins after betting just $5. And don't forget to stay in on the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. If sports betting is not available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code OGs and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code OGs only at DraftKings Sportsbook.